Okay, I swear I don't always mean to forget stories, but there's this really fantastically hilarious thing that happened to me yesterday. Hold on. I have to find an example. Shit. Okay. These are Lille metro tickets. And the metro here is really cool and goes all over the city and is super well organized and works all the time, and there's no conductor on the train because they're like, don't worry about it, we have an entire like control center that controls the train. It's fantastic. But the thing is, it's hard, I guess, to occupy it, and they don't have anybody who stands post, like, to watch who goes in and out of stuff. So, when you go to train stations, you're supposed to buy a ticket, which looks like this. Un trajet means un trip, like, or one trip. Not un trip, one trip. And, you have to compost it, and that means that it clips the side here and it writes the time that you used it. So the first day I bought one and I went around the whole city and I didn't understand that I was supposed to be composting each time with a new ticket. So I just kept the same one the whole time and I didn't get in any trouble for it, and I was like, okay, fine. And eventually I figured out that people were composting them. And the thing is, because nobody watches, a lot of people don't compost them. Nobody does it because it's like, well, I'm not going to pay €1.50 every time if nobody's watching me, right? That's the idea. And I don't do this often. Let's say this, that after the first day, once I figured it out, I was like, I'm going to buy these and I'm going to stamp them because, you know, things happen if you don't follow the rules and stuff. And so the first day that we had class on Monday, well, it's not really class, the day we had the like placement test, we had a really brief orientation, and Jose is one of the international relations, like, guys, not like the major, but like the schools from around the world come here for Erasmus and stuff like that. And he was like, listen, I know that you're going to need a Metro card. Get one if you don't have one. And also, I know that you don't have to stamp your ticket, but you should stamp your ticket, because if you get caught and you don't have a stamped ticket, it's a fine and you can get in big trouble for it. And so I bought a ticket Monday night, but I didn't stamp it. I just bought it so I could stamp it on the way home. Because at my station, there's literally no one ever there. Ever, ever, ever. I've never seen somebody there other than like 5 people who are all taking the train. It's just like a very low traffic suburban stop. And so I bought the ticket and I got on the train. And then I got to the centre-ville, is the middle, it's the downtown part. And Lille Flandre is like the main station next to Lille Europe. And, but like this is the main one, like the big train station with the TGV, the really fast train is up there, like the main train for the country and stuff like that. And, I got to Lille Flandre and I went up the stairs, and as soon as I got up the escalator, there was this like group of people, and they're wearing all black, and like I didn't see that their shirts said police, and so I started to walk up to them, and this guy stopped me, and mind you, this is completely in French. He's like, I need your ticket. And I was like, oh, okay, you know, like, hand him my ticket, you know, and he starts to tell me that it's not stamped and he needs to see some identification and blah, blah, blah. And I immediately am like, oh my God, what am I gonna do? And as soon as, like, I realized that they were the police, I was like, oh, fuck. And I started, like, putting on my American pants. And so I tell him, I'm like, oh my God, this is my first day in France. I just got here. I just took all my bags to my dorm and I put them there and I don't know what I'm doing and I just bought this ticket, but what do I do with it? Did I do something wrong? And like, I'm like, speaking to him in all English, and he's like, do you speak French? And I was like, oui, je parle un peu, mais, and like, I mean, I like speak a little bit, but I don't really speak a lot. And, which is, you know, I understand better than I speak, but he could talk to me and I would understand. I just didn't tell him that. And so I was talking to him and he was like, I need a passport. And I was like, I don't have it with me. I don't have anything with me. I took it all out of my bag. And people are being loud outside. All the time. People are loud until like 4 in the morning. I can't sleep. It's awful. And then when they're not loud at 4, they're loud at 6 because they're going to school. It's ridiculous. So he like calls me over to another woman and because she speaks English and she's talking to me, and he's like, well, I need to see your ticket. It's not stamped. If you don't stamp it, if you don't compost it, then you get a fine. And I look at the thing where she's pointing at the fine, and it's like €45, and I knew that, but I was like, oh my, I'm so sorry. Like, how can I compost it? yeah, because it's really weird, right? Like as an American, the first day was like compost. Okay, whatever. Stamp, clip, whatever. You have to compost it, and every time you have to compost it, and if you don't, it's an infraction. I don't really know which one that is. It's a problem, it's a fine, and I was like, okay, I'm really sorry, and I was like, can I go compost it now? I don't know what to do, and she's asking me for identification, and I look in my bag twice, because I'm like, I don't have anything, and she's like, you really don't have any form of identification, and I was like, no, because they warned me about pickpockets. Right? Oh my god. So, of course, in my bag, I had my passport because I wouldn't go anywhere without identification. It's illegal, right? You have to be able to identify yourself and who you are and all of that. And I had my passport in my bag, but I wouldn't tell them that because I told them that I'd arrived that day. And if they looked at my passport, they would know that I'd gotten there a lot sooner than Monday. So I kept telling them that I didn't have anything, and I was freaking out because I was like, if they call my bluff, I'm so screwed. I'm gonna go to jail for lying about not having my passport because of a ticket. A ticket, right? Ridiculous. So I start to like tremble my hands and like make my voice all shaky, and I'm getting really teary-eyed. And it's working because I'm actually scared that I'm gonna get caught in my lie. You know, so I'm actually like, oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be locked in a cell in France for nothing, for a ticket, and like a train ticket. And finally I'm like, can I go compost it right now? And she's like, oh, you can wait. And I was like, and so I calmly contemplate my shoelaces and think about shedding a tear and deciding whether or not that would be too dramatic. And finally she's like, okay. And she, like, I had given her my bank card because it's the only thing I had with my name on it. I was like, I have my card because I don't carry cash with me. Like, I don't carry anything. I'm so sorry. It's my first day. They told me about pickpockets. And finally she let me go to the machine. So I was like, oh, merci, 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 merci mille fois. Et I walked over to the composting machine and like real hesitant was like, like what do I do? And like pretending like I didn't know what to do. And I was like, okay. And so then I walked, like I didn't know what I was doing, very slowly and carefully out of there. And then I ran my butt to McDonald's, and I just was gonna cry and laugh and scream. And I stripped the French police, like, I don't even know. It's crazy. Awesome. Not crazy. Damn it. Not crazy. It was fantastic and ridiculous and out there, and I'm burping because I have this liter of cherry Coke that I'm drinking. I'm not drinking the whole thing. But yeah. So that is a story about the time that I stripped the French police and got away with it.